So far in this title, we've really focused on how to stay organized in OneNote 2007. And we focused our attentions on organizing the contents of our notebooks, the pages, the sections, even the content on the pages in our notebook, but we haven't focused on our user interface. So in this chapter, we're going to focus on keeping our screen organized so it's easy to move around our open notebooks and sections and pages. We're going to start out in this lesson by focusing on the pages in our notebooks. So you can see over here on the left-hand side, I've actually got 4 notebooks open. Conference, My Clients, Stationery, and UC Book. Now all 4 of these notebooks appear in the Lesson 9 folder of the exercise file. So if you've got them and you want to follow along, go ahead and open these up in this order, starting with Conference, then My Clients, Stationery, and UC Book. The reason I want that order is later on we're going to be talking about organizing your notebooks. But right now let's focus on the pages. I'm currently in the Conference notebook in the Meeting Notes section, which does have multiple pages. If I go over to the Travel section, you can see there's multiple pages here as well. As I go over to the My Clients notebook, just by clicking it here in the navigation pane, several sections, and you can see each of these only has 1 page. Under Stationery, again, I've got multiple pages here. Under Staff Meetings, under Revenue Meetings, I've got multiple pages as well. So let's go back up to Conference. When we organize our pages, I'm going to go back to the Meeting Notes section. They're typically created and displayed in the order that you create them over here. Now remember, there are multiple pages in multiple sections of multiple notebooks. So if you want to be able to organize your pages in all your open notebooks, that's a little bit different. In that case, we're going to go up to our View menu, and I want you to see right at the top, we've got 3 page options. Pages sorted by date. This will take every page in every section of every open notebook and organize them in a task pane. We'll get there in a second. Pages I haven't read. This is a great one if you want to quickly go to pages that you have not yet read, especially if you're sharing notebooks with others or people are sharing notebooks with you. You can quickly go to the pages you haven't looked at yet. So if there's hundreds of pages, you don't have to sift through them. Just go directly to the ones you haven't read yet. Or access pages that have changed recently. Pages that have changed today, since yesterday, the last 7 days, 30 days, 3 months, and 6 months are your options. But let's start right up here, pages sorted by date. When we click this, the task pane opens up with our page list. Remember, this is every page in every open notebook that we have on the left-hand side in our navigation page. So here you can see there's actually 43 pages in total, and they're currently sorted by section. Now we chose sorted by date. The sections are sorted by date, so meeting notes, then main event, workshop, travel, and so on. And within there you'll see the different pages you can go to. So as I scroll down under, for example, lynda.com, I can go right to a page by clicking about this section. Now this is every open notebook. If I want to narrow it down, I can come down here where it says All Notebooks and just focus on the pages in this notebook, for example, which is currently selected as My Clients. Now I'm only seeing the pages in this notebook. I'm going to go back down to All Notebooks, back up to 43 pages. And I'm going to change the sort now to sort by date. Now this is actually going to sort each individual page by date. So here's an untitled page. If I click on it, you can see that this untitled page is under my unfiled notes. It's not even in a notebook. Then yesterday I've got a to-do list, and if I click on that page, you can see that's part of my unfiled notes. Another untitled page. And then I get into meeting title here. That's part of my stationery. Now you may not have the same unfiled notes that I have. That's okay. Just so we click on these pages, we get to see the contents. All right, let's change from date now to title. Now here we're going to see untitled pages automatically at the top, and then the pages are sorted by their titles with A, and you can see mine jumps to C. There are no pages that begin with the letter B. Floor plans, there's hotel information. I can go directly to those pages with a click. This one happens to be in UC Book. You can see under the travel section I've got hotel information here. So just another way to organize your pages. You can see there's quite a few to choose from. Again, if you want to narrow it down to a specific notebook, it could be just this notebook. There we go. Only 15 pages in this notebook, but still sorted by title. And of course, we can change that order from ascending to descending just by clicking this button to the right of the drop down. Now you can see the T's at the top and the A's down at the bottom. You'll always see untitled pages either at the beginning or the end, depending on your sort order. Untitled pages don't really have a title, so they don't count as anything and will always show up at the top or the bottom. I'm going to change this back to section now and change it back to all open notebooks, all notebooks down here at the bottom. So just another way to view the contents of pages in a notebook. I'm going to go back up here to my conference notebook, make sure meeting notes is selected on the first meeting, and I'm going to close up my task pane. All right, another option, if we go back to that view menu, is to quickly access pages that you have not read. If I click on pages I haven't read, over here on the right-hand side, you're going to see a number of pages that I haven't gone in and actually read. So it keeps track of the pages I visit. And you can see again, I can sort them by section. I can access all notebooks, just this notebook, a section group, or a specific section. I'm going to leave it at all notebooks. And I can change the order from section to title to date if I so choose. Like I said earlier, if someone's sharing a notebook with you, this is a quick way for you to get in there and go directly to the pages that you have not read. You also have a navigation pane here, or a couple of buttons at the top that will take you through the different sections of each page, different contents, until you've read them. And you can close this up at any time if you don't want it, but you'll always have your page list over here on the right. Again, to close that task pane, click the close button in the top right corner. I'm going to go back to the first meeting. Let's go back to the view menu now and come down to pages that have changed recently. I want to see just the pages that have changed in the last 7 days. I click on last 7 days. Again, the page list task pane shows up. There's 14 pages here that have changed in the past 7 days. I can quickly go through them just by clicking them here and see those contents, which are highlighted. You can see them in yellow. Here's a floor plan, things to do, meetings, and so on. Again, I have the ability to sort by section, title, or date, ascending or descending order, and I can narrow that search down to a specific notebook or even a section if I needed to. All right, I'm going to close this up and close up my navigation buttons, and I'm back to my conference notebook under meeting notes at the very first page. So if you've got multiple notebooks with multiple sections and multiple pages, if you're sharing with other people, and we're going to be talking about that later on, there are some great ways to access specific pages in those notebooks for your viewing consideration.